Hey Pisces, it's Amber here at Persephone's Journey Tarot. Hope that you're very well. This is your love slash general reading for, it's actually a mid-month reading. So it's from July the 15th through to August the 15th. It is for you if you have a Pisces Sun, Moon, Venus, Ascendant or Descendant. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get started. But before I do, thank you very much for everyone who has shared, liked, subscribed to my channel. I really do appreciate it. Please do join me on Instagram to see my daily readings and on Facebook to see my weekly love and general readings. Just search for Persephone's Journey Tarot and you should find me somewhere on there. Otherwise, all the links to my pages are in the description box below. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get started. Actually, before I do, again, please do check out my Teespring page where I provide you with beautiful spiritual merchandise like cups and cushions and towels and lots of things, astrology, apparel that I'm sure that you guys will like. Make a nice little addition to your mug shelf. And it's also a great way to support the channel. So please do take a look. Again, all the links should be down below, or they may appear as like the little eye thing that appears at the top there. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get started. I will say that we've got the Ace of Cups in your environment. So it looks like definitely love is around you. I feel like with this reading, I'm getting a lot of messages of you kind of finding some sort of balance when it comes to love, wanting love, putting yourself out there. You may feel like you're now in some sort of emotional position, a better emotional standing to now embark on some sort of love relationship and go for it. We have got you here as the King of Cups. This is how you're coming into this period, very emotionally balanced. You've got this crossing you, the Five of Cups, but I feel like you're actually getting over something. With the Five of Cups, I do feel like it's a kind of card of acceptance of change, an acceptance that what once was is no longer, and you're basically allowing yourself, I think, to heal from some sort of past emotional disappointment, letdown, or having to let go of some sort of relationship, or this could even be like leaving something that you love, like a workplace, and people that you've worked with, things like that. But you're sounding very strong in your emotional kind of self here, very strong, on top of your game, unshakable even, and very balanced in your emotions. That's why I think you are over something, and you're now ready for love with the Ace of Cups in your environment sector. Beautiful Ace of Cups there. So there may be offers on the table for you, or I just feel like you're now over something, like you've actually healed. And maybe now you do see love opportunities where maybe you didn't see them before. So before you could have been completely blocking them out, like especially with the Four of Coins here is the overall energy for this period. I think you're actually working through these things. You're working through blockages, emotional blockages, things that held you back, things that stop you from loving without restraint in a sense, but with balance instead. So yeah, and we do see you here again with the Princess of Cups in the motivation sector. So this is what's motivating you. You are curious about love. You want to kind of put yourself out there. You may have been receiving messages of love, or maybe you're currently, in communication with someone that you're looking to maybe start to date. So yeah, this could also be possibly giving someone a second chance in some way as well. I don't see the Judgment card here, but the Princess of Cups can talk about kind of second chances or apologies and kind of starting something anew again, or reviving love in some way. It's almost like, when like you get a sponge from the ocean, like a natural sponge, and it's dried out in the sun and it's been deprived of water. I feel like the princess, or the Page of Cups, kind of like water's been put back on that sponge, and it's now alive again, or it's now it's now in its most moist state. It's kind of like you've been revived in some way. There's love has been kind of brought back into your life in some way. I think it's really you're allowing love back in, and it could be because someone's made an offer to you. It could be a water sign. I am getting a lot of earth energy here as well, though. So it could very well be an earth sign, maybe a Taurus as well. We've got here, or even a Virgo, possibly, which would make sense because your descendant is actually ruled by Virgo. If you're a Pisces rising, or even if you're a Sun Pisces, 7 houses away would be Virgo. So if you've got your Sun in Pisces or your rising, then yeah, most definitely there's a high chance that you probably will find people that are very Virgoan, that you're compatible with, that you do kind of strike a connection with for maybe a long-term relationship or significant relationship. So yeah, we've got the Wheel of Fortune here as to how you're feeling. So as I said, I feel like you're on the up and up, like you feel like maybe karma has been served, you've reached the end of the road or something, and now it's time for a change, it's time for renewal, it's time to, you know, turn a new leaf, to take a new step in the right direction. And you really may feel like luck is on your side and you're really kind of in tune and on path, and destiny is kind of playing its part, and suddenly the wheels are now turning, whereas maybe there might have been a bit of a standstill at some point. Um, but now you feel like, you know, things are moving again and you're feeling really good about it. You definitely are, I think, closing chapters in your life and moving forward in a very positive direction here. It is a karmic, you may even feel like it's a karmic kind of situation that you're in, like you've learned some sort of major lesson that has allowed you to grow and expand and to learn to love again. But this seems to be done through knowing your value here, especially with the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. This is knowing what you're worth, not giving too much away. You may have found, I think especially with Pisceans, a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, you can be very giving, very open. Boundaries aren't really something that I think you guys, you know, concern yourself with too much. It's more about the love and the care and just doing the right thing and following your heart, following your intuition, which is fine. You know, I'm not criticizing that. Please don't read me that way. But I feel that boundaries are something that I think Pisceans and maybe all water signs need to kind of work on. And I think you've kind of got to that point where you understand now, you've got a clear understanding of where your boundaries lie. And your boundaries lie with, once it starts to affect my income or it starts to affect my sense of self-esteem and my love for myself, that's where I draw the line. So in the past, we had the Eight of Pentacles. So I think you were working on yourself quite a lot there. Maybe you were more focused in the past on business, on your work pursuits, and maybe took your mind off of love quite a lot, I think. And you maybe fell in love more with your work. And you may have seen a lot of success as well, a lot of fruit from your labor through all this hard work, especially now as we've gone from the 8 to the 9 of coins or pentacles. So yeah, it's a very positive time. I think you've been working on yourself quite a lot, possibly maybe working on your business and developing that side of your life more. But now I think you're in a position where you've gained a lot of stability. You've made a lot of headway. You've made a lot of money and security. You've got a lot of security in the material world, and I think that's provided a lot of feeling of security within you, feeling stronger, like you can now maybe give, or you can now go and play in the, you know, the love sandbox, you know, but you're feeling a lot more stronger. And in the near future, we've got the Four of Swords. This is you taking some time out, taking a break, taking it easy. You may go on a holiday in the near future and take a break, or maybe you have. And you're feeling very relaxed and being very contemplative. So you're thinking very hard, I think, about your next step. You're not really, I think you're just enjoying the fruits of your labor in the near future. You're not really in any rush to do anything. In fact, anything you do, you're going to think long and hard about. You're not going to rush into anything. I feel like, you know, it's a time of change. However, there's not much action cards here. It's more like you're ready for the change. You're ready to welcome in love if it comes. But the King of Cups as well may not really be someone that pursues someone directly. So it's like you're not directly pursuing anything. You're kind of waiting for the right, you're kind of open to love now, okay? You're open to it while still holding on to that sense of self-esteem and confidence and self-love, if that makes sense. So then we've got the Tower card here. This is in the position of what you're fearing. So yeah, you are fearing that, or hoping, but I think it's more of a fear with the Tower card. I think you are fearing that anything that you do is going to be worth it. You don't want to build something on foundations that are not solid. So any steps that you take going forward will need to be, will need to have the kind of potential and security that you can rely on. Sorry that I'm just all over the place, guys. It's the full moon, and I just feel like it's just got me in its grips, and I'm finding it quite hard to articulate myself. But yeah, with the Tower card here, it's like, yeah, basically, in a nutshell, you're not wanting to build something on rocky foundations. You're not going to bother entertaining anything that isn't really, true love, that isn't, pure, here with the Ace of Cups, and that won't last. You're not into short-term situations here. We've got the Seven of Wands as your outcome as well. So again, there is this kind of defensiveness with you still, as the outcome of this period. But this really is quite a positive kind of defensiveness with the Seven of Wands. I'll show you the card. Well, you're kind of, you've basically got standards, and you're not letting anyone knock you off your standards. You believe in your standards and the boundaries that you've put up, and they're there to protect your confidence, your pride, your sense of joy, your happiness. So you really are protecting your happiness, and you're not really going to let anyone in. Yes, you're open to love now. You're feeling a lot more confident, and you may be putting yourself out there, but it could be very much baby steps with the Princess of Cups here, because you maybe have just kind of come to terms with past heartbreaks, and you're not really trying to rush into anything. And in fact, you're probably more focused on stability overall, and you're not wanting to rock your foundations here with the Tower card. You're not wanting something to come in and rock your foundations, and you're protecting that because you know what it's worth to you here with the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, and the Ten of Swords underneath there too, and the Prince of Swords. So yeah, you are still healing, okay, especially with the Star card here. You've got long-term goals for your relationship, or for relationships period. You're not really, looking for just fun for now, or, just out to have fun and see what happens. I mean, maybe, in fact, you could kind of have an attitude of being a bit superficial, maybe, and not taking things very seriously to an extent. So it could go both ways, because you're not going to give any serious, and you're not going to entertain anything that's not serious, but you may have fun with it. You may just have fun. You may form friendships, and you may have fun, but you may not really take anything seriously, if you can't see anything coming of it long term. Okay, so you're learning how to manage your emotions, really, and to be detached when needed, and not to get attached so quickly, maybe in relationships, and not to give your all. So you've kind of got these boundaries now and these standards that you are holding on to very tightly, and I think it's a very positive thing, and I think you know that too, because you've got a new understanding here with the Prince of Swords. But the Ten of Swords tells me that it's been a long time coming. You've been through quite a bit. It's probably really messed with your head in a lot of ways, these situations, but you've come out of it. You've gone through that dark night of the soul that we all have to go through. That is a karmic thing sometimes, or kind of like the universe's lesson for us. You've kind of been through that process of learning what the universe has, needed you to learn, or found that you needed to learn, and has kind of put you through that process. And I think you've come through it very successfully here with Nine of Pentacles. So you're very ready now. I think you've learned the lessons that you needed to learn, and you're now ready for change, and you're feeling very positive about what's to come, mainly because you feel positive about yourself and how far you've come, and you know now what your standards are and where your boundaries are. So we've got the King of Wands to clarify the outcome. This is someone who's very passionate about what's to come, but also very thoughtful about it as well. So we've got two kings here. Again, it's a graduation for you. You've passed some sort of test, or you've learned something, and yeah, you're with these three cards here. For me, it really talks about graduation. Even the Eight of Coins as well talks about initiation, talks about learning or the apprenticeship. And then the Nine of Pentacles is like, okay, I've got it, I've done it, I've put all my hard work in, and now look at me. I'm in a position here where luck is now on my side. I've moved, you know, the energies around me to work in my favor. You know, you've kind of, it's almost like the Magician card in a sense. But you now have a vision here with the King of Wands. You are passionate about your vision too. No one's going to knock you off this newfound confidence that you have. You feel very much in self-control, and like I said, you've mastered something. The kings represent mastery, and I think you have mastered it. And what you're looking for is someone that you can build something with. Someone that's going to stick around here with the Five of Pentacles, someone who's going to be with you through thick and thin. You may be willing to be on your own as well, even if it is a bit lonely, till you do find that star. You know, there may be many stars around, there may be many opportunities that are around, but you know that you want the pure gold. You know, you want the pure connection here with the Ace of Cups as well. You want something pure, that's healing, that lasts for a long time, possibly even forever. You've got your sights set into the future, and you're really quite, I think, optimistic about what could be. You've got a lot of hope for the future. And the Five of Pentacles for me always speaks about, you know, karmic soulmates as well. So you could be looking for someone that, and there's good karma and there's bad karma. So forget what you heard, okay? It's good and bad karma. So you can have a very positive karmic relationship, but you may feel very bound to that person, but at the same time, it just brings a lot of goodness and happiness into your life and support. So yeah, I feel that you're very focused in the future. You've got a clear vision for yourself, and your boundaries are now set. You're in a place where you're confident and you're taking it easy. You're kind of waiting for the offers to come in. You're not really pursuing anyone, but you're also being very possibly even strategic, but I would say more so being but quite choosy, but in a really not in like a choosy kind of snotty way, but in a choosy way where you're really kind of keeping to your own standards and making sure that these standards are met before you pursue anything. But I think once those standards are met, you will definitely go for it, because you are ready for love, just waiting for the right person to come along. So yeah, this turned out to be a love reading. There is a bit of work in here too, so you've done pretty well. So well done to you, Pisces. I'm going to go ahead now into the extended, and I'm going to, so these readings are a lot more shorter because it is only it's only 10 cards really, whereas in my monthlies there's like, I think, 15 cards and talking about your feelings and their feelings and all sorts. So it's a much more in-depth reading, but this is just a quick snapshot into what's going on at the moment. It's more personal, as to more about your feelings, not so much about the other person's, and you know, it's kind of a check-in with yourself really. So if it resonates, I'm really happy. I'm glad that it does. So yeah, and if it does, yeah, please do join me in extended. I will be looking more into the relationship, looking at more, you know, if you are in a relationship, I'm going to take that reading there. I'm going to look into the strengths and weaknesses of your current relationship, if you're in one. I'm also going to be looking at it from an angle of where your strengths and weaknesses are in terms of finding love. I also will be wrapping up this reading and clarifying it, and also looking into 3 months into the future in terms of your career and your relationships. So yeah, join me there, and I'll be pulling some oracle cards. So yeah, it is quite interesting in the extended, so please do join me there. Sorry that I've been a bit garbled, but like I said, the moon does get me every time. We do have an eclipse, so yeah, happy full moon eclipse. I hope that it's being good to you, and you're all following your intuition. Yeah, so have a good one. Take good care, and thank you for joining me. Bye.